So you just bought your Corolla and you happen to get a great deal on it, and now you have $1,000 extra. All right, yeah, let's face it, you probably didn't get a good deal. The car market is ridiculous right now. So, but say you do happen to have $1,000, what should you buy on your Corolla? There's quite a few mods that you can do to your Corolla that are fairly cheap, and you can get quite a few of them out of it for just $1,000. So I'm gonna go over all of them. Some of you guys might already have some of this stuff, and if you do, then that's great. Then you can put your money towards something completely different. But let's just say you are a base model or an LE. Those do not come with the rear spoiler here, so that right here is a great upgrade. I bought mine for, it was like about $150. So, and that came with the light, and it came painted and everything. So all I had to do is just drill some holes and mount it to the car, and it makes the car look a million times better. So that is one thing I definitely recommend, especially if you have a base model or an LE. Every time you get in your car, what do you see? You see your steering wheel. So one thing that I did, which I think looks amazing and also feels nice and looks nice, is a nice quality leather steering wheel wrap. So this is very tedious to put on, but it's fairly cheap. So I think I paid like $40 for mine, but you have to hand stitch all this on here. So it comes with everything you need. You better have a good 2 hours or so that way you could just sit down and stitch. So, but once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty good. So this steering wheel is a great must to just add a nice accent color, and just, it feels great. Because one thing I hate is like, if you go to like AutoZone, Walmart, any place that you can buy like a steering wheel cover, yeah, they're like very universal steering wheel covers, and they're bulky, and I hate the way they feel. So this adds a little bit of thickness around the wheel, but not to the point where it's like kind of awkward or uncomfortable to drive. The next thing when you get into your car is you'll pretty much interface with your radio every single time you get in the car, whether or not you're just turning the volume up and down, or you're changing stations, or doing whatever you want. One of the previous radios I had was a fairly cheap radio that was identical to this one, and it just had a lot lower quality specs and a lower quality screen. But I would recommend it, because I mean, if you're trying to save a little money and you want to have a nice radio with some like Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, buy the one on Amazon that I did. I'll be putting links down below. That one was only like $150 and comes with all the same features as here. But I do notice the like screen quality is a little like your average screen quality, while this one has a lot higher resolution screen. And then the like the response time for the other radio, there might be a little bit like 2-3 second delay, like when you're trying to load things, versus like this radio, it's practically instant to like pull up Apple CarPlay, or I believe it also has Android Auto. And so yeah, definitely recommend upgrading to a nice touchscreen radio. Alright, so another upgrade that I definitely recommend are these hood struts. So no need for your prop rod anymore. You can just use your hood struts, and this thing holds up your hood really good. So these are nice quality. I really like them, and they've been holding up great. So I ordered these on Amazon, and I believe I paid about $50 or so for them. So that was definitely a good buy for this. It's nice to, like, if you're doing anything to your car, it's nice not to have this prop rod in your way. Especially like if you're over here on this side of the engine bay and you're trying to, like, for instance, I believe like when I changed my alternator, I didn't have these at this time, and so like the prop rod was kind of getting in my way when I was trying to go this way. So having this out of my way is great. Alright, so hopping in the back of the car, one other thing I want to say is blacking out your emblems. I think it makes such a big difference on your car, and it's so cheap. It's like literally $20, or sometimes they sell kits that are already black. Those are a little bit more expensive, but $20 for a can of Plasti Dip or Hyper Dip to paint your emblems, make them like stealthy looking, and like they just look good black. So that's one of the biggest things I think, just like transform a car, is like just adding those little black accents to the car. Give it, like, I don't want to say an aggressive look, but a more unique look, because not many cars come with black emblems. I know some of the newer ones are starting to come with blackout packages, like from the dealer, but a lot of old cars never came with black emblems. So being able to change your emblems and have a nice black look to them is a best easy way to do it. Alright, so hopping back in the car, if you are a manual transmission, these next two are for you guys. So the Monkey Wrench Racing short throw shifter and shifter bushing. So the shifter, I believe, is like $85, $90, and the bushings are $20. And so, but it just makes the shifts feel so much notchier. So some people might not like it, and some people, I personally, I like that feeling of, I know I'm in that gear. Sometimes like people just want it to be nice and smooth. Other times people want it to be like, you feel every notch in the shift, and I'm that person. And I think having the short throw shifter and the solid brass bushings are a must. So like I said, they're fairly cheap, and they change the driving experience quite a bit on these cars. So definitely add them if you can. And if you don't have your original intake box, you can easily get access to your shifter bushings. There's one right here, and then there's one right there. So super simple to change out. You literally just have to pull out a pin and then pop them out, and then push them back in, and it's a simple replacement, and it feels way nicer. Especially if you also have worn out bushings, because that was one of the biggest reasons why I changed mine. This car has about 140 something thousand miles, and the rubber bushings that come with it were a little worn out. Then while we're in front of the car, let's talk about our hella horns. Not only do they sound a lot louder, I have the dual hella horns, they also look nice. So I got the yellow ones, they come red, and I believe they also have a black set too. Those are just a great addition to have if you're wanting to just, I mean, do you need to do it? No. But is it a nice upgrade to do? Have a little bit louder horn and look a little bit nicer on the front of your car? I'd say so. And I believe those with the harness were only like 40 bucks. So definitely worth it. Alright, so this next one, I honestly get lots of people telling me this is a dumb thing to add to a Corolla or an engine like this. But I have shown you guys before that these oil catch cans catch quite a bit of oil on this car. So whether I'm turboed or not, we can just, you can see all the oil dripping. There's not a lot in here, because I just clean this out probably about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. But for, I believe, 30 something dollars, 30 bucks, definitely a good way to keep that oil from getting into your intake. So alright, and so if you don't have a Corolla S or an XRS, your car most likely did not come with blacked out housing. So these are actually fairly cheap to buy. I think I only paid like $60 for mine, but that was a few years ago. I think they're about $80 now. But adding some blacked out headlights or headlight housings add such a more aggressive look to this car. So for $80, especially if your headlights are looking a little crusty, definitely worth getting a new set for 80 bucks. All right, so something you guys can't see, but I did change, and I think it's a nice upgrade, was I added some new speakers and some tweeters to my car. So, and again, I think some higher end models of the Corolla might already have tweeters, or you might even have the JBL system. But if you don't, adding some new speakers, tweeters, everything, I think I paid like $150 or something like that. So for something like that, it's super cheap, pretty simple to do, and you get a lot better sound quality than out of those stock cheap speakers that come with the car. All right, so the total's starting to add up, but I don't think we quite hit 1,000 yet. And so one of the next things, probably the last things, would be buying a front lip. So something I have not done yet is painted mine, but luckily it kind of matches closer to the color of my car than many other colors. But this front lip was like $170 something, and it changes the look completely of these cars. So if you have a 2009 or 2010, this is what your lip will look like. And then if you have a 2011 to 13, your lips look a little bit different and a little bit more aggressive looking than the 9th gen Corollas. But honestly, I think it's a great addition. And if you know how to paint, it's even cheaper, so you don't even have to have anybody paint it yet. So that one is a pretty nice upgrade to do, especially if you're looking to change the look of your Corolla. So I personally bought the front and the back one, which was like almost $400. But if you can buy them individually. I don't think you save much money if you buy them in a pair. So you could just buy the front one day and then the rear one the next day. So that way you don't have to fork up all the money all at once. Now let's say you did have like a Corolla S or something like that. You probably saved yourself a good couple $100 by having some of these parts that I mentioned, like the speakers, the spoiler, the headlights, and things like that. So right there, you just saved yourself close to, I don't know, like $400. Next best thing to do would be get some coilovers. So these I have are Rev 9 coilovers that you can't even see whatsoever, but my Rev 9 coilovers I've had pretty much almost since I've owned this car, which has been probably like 2.5 years or so, and I have had literally no problems with them whatsoever. So I mean, I am not maxed out. That is one thing to let you know. If you max these out, they might not be as good, but I'm probably like, I could probably go down another 1.5 inches if I really wanted to, which I don't want to. I was fairly low at the beginning, but then every bump I hit, the car made like some horrible noises. It was like, I think my wheels were hitting the inside of the fender liner, and it was just like bottoming out the suspension really hard. So I raised it up like probably 1 inch, and ever since then I loved. It's not a monster truck, but it's also not a like slammed car either. So, but the Rev 9 coilovers are perfect for your daily driver that you don't want to slam, but you also just want to look nice. And they stiffen up the ride pretty good. I mean, it is a lot stiffer than stock, but they stiffen it up where taking corners and driving pretty aggressive around like corners and sharp turns feels good. You can feel pretty confident driving with those coilovers. So I would definitely recommend them if you have the extra money to do that. So, or if you don't like some of the other mods that I talked about, then maybe go for coilovers instead of some of the other ones. So, but coilovers do definitely make a great change on this car. All right, so that's pretty much my take on how to spend $1,000 on your Corolla. So if you, like I said, if you just got your Corolla and you're looking to start modifying it, those are some great mods to start with. And if you don't have that amount of money, I also have this video right here that if you have $500 or if you're looking on a lower budget, take a look at that video, because that video also has a lot of good mods to start with, or include to some of your other mods that you already have on your car. So, but with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.